Hey, this is Tracy with Color Me This, episode 39, another short one. I decided on my birthday that I would do 2 live draw tutorials with my favorite animal artist, and that is Bonny Snowdon. So I'm a couple days late. It is now Christmas Eve, and I am sitting here at the drafting table. I've got all of my materials prepared, my small selection of Polychromos pencils picked, my kneaded eraser. My sharpener is actually, for the second time, blinking that it needs to be charged, so I have it behind this wonderful huge monitor. So there's our subject, which is the robin, and then her video is on the left, and I am staring out at my wonderful backyard view, and I am definitely in my happy place. So I'm gonna leave now. I have finished the eye. That's as far as we've gotten. That little tiny black dot is the eye, and if I get super close, let's see if you can actually see the 3 colors that I have put into it. It has dark sepia, black, Pablo white, warm gray too, for that little tiny eye. And if I zoom over here, I'll show you, we are trying to replicate that eye right there. And it's teeny tiny. The image that I'm drawing is 3 inches tall and maybe 4 inches wide. So I will pop back in after some progress has been made. I will tell you that the tutorial is 2 hours, and I will definitely be stopping. This might take me 4 to 6 hours. That's typically the rule of thumb for me because I am a very slow colorist. So I will pop back in though and give you guys some updates as I progress. It is my first time using a material called Pastelmat, which I hear is very grainy, so you need to use lots of very light layers, which I am ready to tackle that challenge. I do not like textured media. I like ultra smooth media, so this will be a learning process. So hopefully I won't be too embarrassed. My friends are walking by, so I'm trying to wave at them, but they don't see me. It's so funny. It's like I'm the zoo exhibit, only because of the reflection in our windows, which are plexiglass, they can't actually see in. My husband maintains the trail, so he drives back and forth all the time and says most of the time he can't even see me. So anyhow, stay tuned. I'll be back, and I'll try to give you updates throughout my process. All right, time has just flown by, and we're almost done with our 2 hours. Let's see if I can get this to focus. So this is as far as we've gotten, and I only think we have like 10 minutes left. So you can see there's where she's at. She's going to probably leave us to our own devices for the rest of it. And I have to say, it is dark now, so trying to get... Oh, that focused good. Okay, so here's where I'm at. I like how I did the beak. And I like the eye, though the bottom, like I would say southwest, there's a little bit of it's not as smooth as I would like. And there's a lot more work to do on the feathers. So we'll see where she finishes off, and if I am brave enough to go it alone for the rest of it. So far I have taken her tutorials where they were doing just like an eye, and maybe we only did the eyes and then we have the rest of the image. I have made myself finish, and they're not perfect, but I do like to challenge myself to try to see what I can do with the rest of a drawing without guidance. And so we will see what I do. And that's about all I've got. I am almost done with the Prismacolors. I've done the color combos, the swatches, and I haven't, oh, and Hub is home, so you'll hear him be noisy, but I'm not going to stop because I think this is pretty much it. And so I will be working on a drawing or two with those. And I have some interesting findings and experiences to share with everybody. I know that Prismacolors, for a lot of people, that's what they've started with, and I have never used them until now. So I only swatched my 36 set, and then I'll show you the really tiny swatch. Like, I just did these little lines and then color matched. That was last year. So look forward to that. Hey, I am back. A couple of days have passed. I'm still on episode 39. My robin is making progress. This is where the robin is at the moment. I've been doing some glazing over the wing area to darken it up. I've added a lot of the detail. I kind of like to, at this point on a animal portrait, let it sit, come back and revisit it, and it might take me like a week before I'm totally happy with everything. I need to work more on the fence post that this little guy is sitting on, and I'm going to show you. Here is my blown up image. Since we only did the head and like the front chest, and then Bonnie at the very end gave some tips on how to do the feathers, that is how I progressed with the feathers. And you can see that the very front is way darker than my front. So I will be working on that using a glazing technique. Again, all of the pencils I've used, they're all Polychromos with one Pablo white. I will gather up all of the ones that I've used. I think I only used maybe 12. It's the ones in this front and here. So some oranges, in India red, browns, and 4 grays, and a little bit of black. So I am trying to get this finished up, so I'll probably close this out. The only other thing I want to mention is I'm using Pastelmat board, and it has a backing on it. It's like a glossy, heavy cardstock. So I'm finding that this curls quite a bit. You know, we're in a humid area in Florida, and it rained the last couple of days, so I found that this was curling quite a bit. If I were to do this again, I probably wouldn't use washi. I would go ahead and use masking tape, maybe painter's tape. This is at an angle. I am left-handed, so I wanted this in the most comfortable position possible. I am sitting on my husband's old chair. It's actually nice and cushy. It goes up and down, and it goes really low, which is why my husband originally bought it years ago. And so that's where I've been sitting, and I am moving on to 40. Number 40 will be the Prismacolor walkthrough, which I have finished all the bits and pieces for that, and then I left the testing sheet. I started getting, it's been, all of the blocks have been colored in, and we will go through and do the tests together. So that is going to be coming here really soon. I've also been delayed somewhat. I am the secretary of our condo association, and this is year end where we do all of our meetings and board meetings and approvals and budgets and billings. So I have been somewhat pulled aside to work on that. And in fact, that's why I'm filming this before I have to head on down to our condo association services. This is a community I actually read up. We have 18 condos and 3 homeowner associations. One of the homeowner associations is the services homeowner association, and that's where I am going to meet with them. They have 3 people on staff this time of year, and it's quite hectic. My husband volunteered me for this job because he's like, "Oh, you'll be really good at that. You're good and attentive to detail." But I wasn't really ready for it to be this busy during the holidays. So I will know better next year, because this is my first year of doing it. All right, so this is the end of episode 39, coloring a robin. using Bonny Snowdon's. This is one of her live color alongs, and like I said, she helped me. She did the head and then the front chest, and then gave us some tips on the feathers. And then I signed up for a second one on January 1st that is a deer. So one of my 2024 goals is to be much more active in my coloring journey overall, like getting myself into the habit of coloring every day. And so eventually I would like to be filming some of those colorings, whether it's here at my drawing table or sitting in the recliner. So always forging ahead. So do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.